Good morning. Good morning. This is Terrence Cummins, aka the Music Master, coming from lovely Tupelo, Mississippi, home of Tupelo Music Academy and Team Music Masters. Today we have a very, very special guest that we'll be interviewing. Got a lot of things to talk about today. But before we get to that, we do have a few little housekeeping things that we would like to go over. Today's podcast is brought to you by Team Music Masters and Tupelo Music Academy. Team Music Masters for your corporate, private party, and wedding events. We're here to cater to your needs in the field of music, entertainment. And brought to you by Tupelo Music Academy, the one total house for music lessons from voice to strings and everything in between. Practice to play, you can learn at Tupelo Music Academy today. So today, I have a very special guest, someone I've known a while, a true music master. Met him years ago playing the bass. I've seen him take his career from being a musician to being a business musician. And that climb is not easy. Most people can't do the transition, and I've seen my brother do that over the years, and I'm so proud of him. Today he has a new release on all of the top platforms, and we're going to give you a little snippet, but you got to go on and check it out. We're going to give you a little snippet.
You know, I've seen this very beautiful lady over by the bar, and I just had to make my way on over just to see what she was about. And this was the first thing that I said.
Hey, pretty lady, how are you doing? Girl.
All right, you got to get on the platforms, download it, support him, put it on the social. We have none other than Bassmaster, the leader of the Cuz Studio and Sound, Mr. Chris Parks. Chris Parks,
What's up?
how you doing today?
Man, it's going, man. Just blessed to be here.
Man, welcome to the Music is Life podcast. I appreciate you taking the time. Today today is the music release, and we wanted to bring you on real quick to do a interview with you. We got some questions for you today, and for those who don't know you, won't you introduce yourself, tell them a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get on into it.
Hey, Chris Parks, hometown, Northeast Mississippi, Tupelo, Mississippi. I moved to this Mississippi Delta 24 years ago. I was on a scholarship to play football, and that period of my life has passed. But I am still here in the Mississippi Delta. Been playing music long time, that I just can't remember exactly how many years. But yeah, love music, love how I make people feel. It's basically, to me, it's a language. So yeah, I love it, man. Yeah, making it happen.
Yeah, man, it's been almost 25 years. Dang.
Yeah, I've been in this Mississippi Delta 20, going to be 25 years.
Man.
Yep.
Well, on today, my brother, which is family to me, my brother-in-law, and he's helped me along the way, and I've seen him. He's helped my brother. He's helped a lot of musicians in this area. I've seen him grow and touch a lot of different people. So, Chris, one of the first questions I want to ask is, what got you started in music?
Well, I grew up on Green Tea Road, Haven Acres, with my grandmama, and of course she had 45s. I think she even had 8 tracks. But I started as a drummer. I used to beat. My grandmother had a teapot set, and man, that was my drum set. I used to get down. My bass drum was my knee hitting the floor, and my sticks was the forks and spoons and butter knives. And yeah, that's how I used to make noise. And I probably beat up a good tea set one time. I don't really remember, but that's how I started. My grandmother was a musician. She played guitar. I used to sneak and get her guitar, but she didn't really want too many people messing with her guitar, which I can understand now. But yeah, I started off on drums, man. Dude named Marco Johnson, JC Bean, took out time with me, and taught me the ropes. Marco really took out a lot of time with me. Taught me the ropes, and that's how I started playing bass, man. I was a drummer, and my little cousin, which is Janaris, which he on that CD code. Janaris took my spot at the church, so I had to start playing something else. I started playing the bass. Then my other little cousin taught him how to play the bass. Then he took my spot at the church. So I had to move away from Tupelo. Then
Well, I mean, you've had your influence on a lot. My brother is one. You influence Matt a lot. He thinks a lot of you. He looks up to you, and we definitely appreciate you. Because I remember times where we didn't have a bass player, and we asked you to come in a few times to play with us, and you always blessed us. But I
yeah,
didn't know that your grandmother played. I never heard that.
yeah. Mother played guitar. Mother had a sunburst. I think it was a sunburst Fender, and I never saw a case. I never saw a chord. I just saw the guitar all the time. Yep, Mother had it. Yep.
Okay. Well, that's one thing I didn't know. So put that down. So with this, with everything that you got going, so now you got the band, you're doing studio, you're doing audio, you have a school. How do you balance all that?
Man, it's complicated, man. It's complicated. For one, you got to have yourself a calendar. I tried the Google Calendar. That ain't working for me, so I had to just go back to the paper calendar. But yeah, you got to plan accordingly. You just got to plan ahead. You got to be organized. Um, because you got a lot of people depending on you in certain situations. So you got to be organized. The last thing I want to do is be unprepared for a situation. I try to look at all situations as some situations that I deal with in life. So I really don't know what I just said. You may want to edit that.
No, you good. I mean, you got it. I understand where you are.
Hmm.
I do the same thing. I have a lot of people that I got to deal with the academy, with Team Music Masters, with the church, with my family. So you got to put things into perspective, and then when you're working, uh, people like professionalism, and they stick around longer when you handle things correctly. I've been on both sides of the fence where I didn't know what I was doing. I was messing up everything, and people leave, and then you get where you learn some stuff, and then So I definitely agree with you having that balance. So with that, where do you see things going in the future?
Well, man, we're just gonna keep grinding, man. Um, as far as my music school, of course, I'm hoping to max out my music schools. I only have a limited amount of spots. So in the future, of course, I just want to give something back to the Mississippi Delta, just like somebody gave to me. But we want to produce great musicians, not a guitar player, not a drummer. We want to produce musicians, people that can go do a studio session, people that can play to a click track, uh, stuff like that. So that's what, as far as the music school, that's the goal. The studio, again, the motto for the studio is quality over quantity. Uh, I'd rather put out a record, a nice record, than put a 3 records out per week and they sound like garbage. Um, so therefore, it's not even a money hungry game. to
Right.
me. And it's the same for the music school, you know. Uh, so it's not even about the dollar. Sound, man, we doing great. You know, we getting a lot of gigs for a sound. My main thing right there, you know, we dealing with a different clientele. Um, I heard you a while ago. You spoke on professionalism. Most people hire me just off of that. You know, it ain't that I'm bringing in 40 RCF speakers. You know, but they'll hire you off your professionalism. Do you know how to read riders? You know, some people don't even have an email. You know, can't even check email. Stuff like that. So, you know, we've been blessed to do a lot of things in that area. As far as the band, man, we just trying to get it, man. We're trying to work, trying to get it, man. I got some hungry guys with me now, and they want it, man. So, yeah, man. Hopefully, this track that we just released today uh, takes us into some different venues.
Well, I like it. I like the direction that you're taking. Um, I was looking at some things, looking at your video shoots, your graphics, what you put on social, how you put your music out. That sets those are the building blocks to setting up long-term business where people say, "Hey, I can trust this guy. They know what they're doing. They got things in order." That comes in part. It's just not always about your talent. You
Right.
got to have that business acumen to put the things together. And I have to commend the Cuz brand. You have led that very well. I'm very impressed with that. Within that, let's talk about the new song. So, who were the writers? How did it come about? Give me a little story on that.
So, hey, pretty lady. So me and one of my quartet buddies, his name Colton Meekins out of South Carolina. That's my great friend. He's a bass player. I met him years ago when I was playing with the gospel for. I played the bass for a living for at least 8 years. That was my main living. But I was on the road and I met Colton. And man, me and Colton just kicked it. We kicked it, and but I found out that he's a great songwriter. So I just been asking, man, send me a track. Anyway, he done sent me plenty of tracks. Some tracks just don't fit me. And but he sent me Hey Pretty Lady just out the blue. Just out the blue. I'm talking about actually I forgot I even asked him for a song. I was in the RV, we was headed somewhere. And he just sent a text message, hey man, check this out. I'm like, what is this? And I checked it out. I was like, man, I like this, man. So yeah, man, that's the writer, Colton Mickey's out of South Carolina. But yeah, man, I got the track and produced the track, changed a little few things around. Brought my little cousin them in on it. Red, Janaris, Rico, El Shaddai. We call him El. Out of Tupelo, Charles Ross. You know, we brought these guys in to help to make the track what it is today. So
Yeah.
a lot of credit goes to those guys too, man.
Yeah, it sounded great. I know when you played the track for us, was it a couple months ago over to the
Right,
house. I
right.
was like, yeah, I'm feeling that. The vibe was good on it. It's gonna be one that people gonna want to listen to when you come into those professional events and your gig and stuff. So I like the vibe on it, and then to have some of our own to put something out. I'm always wanting to support people. So what we want people to do, this podcast, we're pushing out to the Tupelo Music Academy community and Team Music Masters community. Y'all go download it, play it, listen to it, share it, put it on social. We want to make sure that we get it out heavy. We appreciate Mr. Chris Parks for being on today. We just wanted to share a little bit. I know he got a lot going on because I've seen a lot of your social posts. It look like you've been on the road and posting up quite a
Man,
bit.
got to make it. No excuses, man. Got to make it happen.
So Chris, if if someone is looking for you, how can they find you? How can they contact you?
Well, my number isn't hard to find. It's everywhere. But yeah, man, just shoot me a text. I'm good with the text message stuff because I talk to a lot of different people every day, and some people I just can't remember what we even talked about. So I just look at text messages.
Look out, bro,
So yeah,
Law.
you can you can text me at 662-719-1717. Yeah,
I,
our radio promoters, radio DJs, disc jockeys, radio promoters, uh, everybody. Hey, you want Hey Pretty Lady? Go download it. I can send you a promo package via email. However you want to do it. We locked and loaded over here.
and what's that email where they can send that out to you?
So yeah, the email address is gonna be cuzstudioandsound at gmail.com. cuzstudioandsound at gmail.com.
Now, all of that information will be linked below, so that if you want to contact Mr. Chris Parks and the Cuz band or studio or sound or the school, that information will be located below. Again, we appreciate Mr. Chris Parks being with us on this Music is Life podcast, sponsored by Team Music Masters and Tupelo Music Academy. I am your host, Terrence Cummins, aka the Music Master. Y'all be blessed. We're gonna play this song one more time.
You know, I seen this very beautiful lady over by the bar, and I just had to make my way on over just to see what she was about. And this was the first thing that I said.
And y'all gotta go out there and get it.
Pretty lady.